Happy New Year! Shelly Lynn over on Instagram heard my plea, heard my cry that I could not find my very own Farmer's Market calendar. So she mailed me one. Isn't that sweet? Thank you, Shelly Lynn. This video would not be possible if it weren't for you. Today is a special challenge between me and my friend Adrienne. She also has a YouTube channel, The Full-Time DIY Mommy, and it will be linked in my description box below. And we've challenged each other to see what we can come up with using the famous Farmer's Market calendar.
And would you believe you can make a really cute accent pillow with this calendar? I used one of my old couch pillows, a tablecloth from the Dollar General store I bought way back in the spring, but I loved the print on it, a mirrored printout of the Farmer's Market cover page of the calendar, which I'll tell you how I did, and Cricut infusible ink. Some other things not pictured here is heat-resistant tape, parchment paper, and a hot glue gun. Oh, and of course, an iron or easy press. And so this is how I made my mirrored image. I have a HP printer that has a scanner. And so I cut down the cover of the calendar so that it would fit into the scanner. And I scanned the image into my computer. And then I was able to mirror it, which turns it backwards. And then I printed it out in color, which I don't think that matters if it's in color or black and white if you don't have color ink, but I just went ahead and printed it out in color. And so that's how I got my image. And now I'm using the Cricut infusible ink markers to just color in all of the design, the colors that I wanted it to be. You don't have to stick with the colors that the calendar actually is. You can be creative and make it whatever colors you want, but I pretty much stuck to the colors that were already in the calendar. And so I just traced and filled in using the markers. And for the smaller lines, like the little tiny lines that's the boards of the barn in the image, I used an infusible ink pen. It has a much smaller tip, like a writing ink pen. The next step is to cut down the tablecloth to make the pillow cover. I cut the tablecloth into a really large rectangle, and this is just where it was folded in half, and I cut the square about the size of the pillow, a little larger than the pillow, and then folded it back over to make a cover. So Adrienne's probably laughing because I'm not going to sew these edges up. I'm going to use a hot glue gun. Now, if I owned a sewing machine and knew how to use a sewing machine like Adrienne does, I would be sewing this up for sure. But you need to go check out Adrienne, the Full-Time DIY Mommy. Her link is in the description box below. She can sew. She can sew kids' clothes. She can sew adult clothes. And she started a DIY channel. I'm hoping that she has some sewing tutorials to teach me, and maybe someday I'll purchase my very own sewing machine and begin sewing like she does. Once the tablecloth was cut down to fit around the pillow, then I turned it inside out and began to hot glue the edges. The easiest way I've found to hot glue edges together is to just run a bead of hot glue and fold it over. And in the finished project, you might have a little flappy-do deal on the edges of your pillow, but I think that makes it kind of unique and like a European sham. It has like sort of a little piece that sticks out around the edge. And so because when you fold it over, there's actually 2 pieces of material there, you want to hot glue those 2 pieces together as well. Then open up the pillow cover and turn it right side out. And I wanted to do one final fitting, putting the pillow inside to make sure that the pillow cover was fitting the way that I wanted it to before I applied the design. The best part is coming up soon. Applying the design using this infusible ink is so satisfying. I'm telling you, I love these infusible ink markers, and they're so inexpensive, like $10 to $15 a box for all those colors. It's awesome. When you apply your design, you want to make sure that your material is free of wrinkles as much as possible and free of lint. So you want to lint roll, make sure there's no particles stuck on your design or your material. You need to put something inside your pillow cover to protect the ink from going all the way through to the back side. So I'm using a piece of cardstock, but you could use whatever you can find, a piece of cardboard or a piece of a cereal box or something. Just place something down inside the middle of your pillow cover. Then place your design ink side down in the place that you want it centered in on the pillow cover, and then use the heat resistant tape, which I got mine, it's the Cricut brand, and I got mine at Walmart. Use that heat resistant tape to tape your design down to hold it in place. It's very important that your design stay in place while you're ironing it. Next, use a piece of parchment paper to cover your design, and this protects your iron from the ink. Your iron needs to be on its maximum hottest setting, and then I press it straight down onto the design and hold it for 15 to 20 seconds. And lift it straight back up and very carefully move it and straight back down in another spot. Now, if you have an easy press, you're gonna have a much better time getting this task accomplished, but I don't have an easy press as of right now. It's on my list of things to get, but it works out anyway in the end. An iron is not the best way to go if you were making t-shirts or something like that, because you'll see in the end it's not quite as, what am I trying to say? It's not quite as smooth a transfer as it would be with an easy press. With an iron, you get little blotches that don't transfer 100%. But with this particular design, and if you're wanting it to look a little faded, a little rustic anyway, it actually works in your favor to just go ahead and use an iron instead of an easy press. Then I take a little peek to see how the transferring is going, and I see that it's just about where I want it to be. So I let it cool just a minute, and then I remove the parchment paper, and then I let it cool some more and remove the transfer tape and the paper. I was so happy with the results of using this infusible ink on this material, and with this design, I thought it was perfect. The last thing to do is insert the pillow and close up that end seam. If you don't already have a pillow that you're not using to use as a form, you could, of course, just stuff it with pillow stuffing. I fold the edges inward to the inside of the pillow cover to make my faux hem. Once I get those folded inside, then I just hot glue it together. And that's it. That's how you use a calendar to make a pillow.
I searched the world over and thought I found a calendar, but everyone went to get them and they were gone. Bum, 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 bum.
Remember to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos in 2021. Bye for now.